It doesn't seem like all that long ago that plug-in hybrids were a bit of an oddity. There weren't many around, and the ones that were didn't really seem like convincing forms of transport. Yet now they're as mainstream as it gets, and the new Seat Leon e-hybrid is proof of that. It's a totally normal family hatchback at a pretty affordable price, yet it's got both petrol and electric power. It's not just an expensive standalone model anymore. You pick it from the engine range just like you would a petrol or diesel car. So if you like this kind of thing, then don't forget to subscribe to the DrivingElectric YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos go live. Oh, and give it a thumbs up while you're there. The Leon uses the same technology as the Volkswagen Golf, Audi A3 and Skoda Octavia hybrids, so they have a lot of similarities. Along with the electric motor, there's a 1.4 litre petrol engine under the bonnet, and when combined, they produce 201 brake horsepower. As with most plug-in hybrids, the battery is small. It's 13.1 kilowatt hours, which gives enough juice for around 40 miles of driving in electric-only mode. Now, despite the fact we only managed 30-odd miles before the engine kicked back in, it's that first figure that makes a difference to company car drivers, as it puts the car in one of the very lowest benefit-in-kind tax brackets. Official fuel economy of 235 miles per gallon sounds too good to be true, of course, but plug in regularly and that could be possible. It's perhaps more useful to know that the petrol engine will still manage roughly 40 to 45 miles per gallon when the battery has run out. So this is the new Leon. In the past, it's been regarded as a better looking alternative to the VW Golf. As always, you can let us know in the comments what you think to this new version. Is it an improvement? You've got this new grille and headlight combination at the front with this jagged line when the LEDs are on. It makes them easy to spot coming towards you or in your mirrors. You can also pick the plug-in hybrid version out from a crowd by looking for the charging port on the front wing, and if you come with me to the back, there's the e-hybrid badge. There's not much else to easily differentiate them, not that that's a bad thing. Also at the back is the new Leon logo, a bit like a signature, and on higher spec models, a long light bar that goes all the way across and links the tail lights. Then there's the ever controversial fake exhaust pipes down here, a topic of much discussion on the online forums. Charging is the key to getting the best out of a plug-in hybrid like this Leon. The more often you top up the battery, the more efficient it's going to be and the more money you'll save on running costs. It only has a small battery, so it doesn't take long to run dry. Yet, because it doesn't have the rapid charging technology of a fully electric car, it can take a while to recharge. A home wall box is the best solution, as it will take the battery from empty to full in 4 hours, while a 3-pin plug will take 6 hours. That's easily doable overnight or while you're at work. Be vigilant about plugging in and you'll see the best results. One of the stronger aspects of the Seat Leon has always been that it's good to drive, and the plug-in hybrid version is exactly the same. Okay, so the steering's a bit light, but that's true of all its rivals, and in reality, it's pretty responsive. There's not much body roll, so it's fun in corners, but while the suspension is a little firm, we don't reckon many people would describe it as uncomfortable. It's one of the sacrifices you have to make for that sharper handling. Of course, it's very quiet in electric mode, and when the petrol engine comes into play, it's not particularly intrusive. It's only when you put your foot down and accelerate quickly that it sounds strained. But once you're up to speed, it's a really good cruiser. There's plenty of performance if you want it though. After all, it does have over 200 brake horsepower, which means it will go 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds. And if you have access to an autobahn or a closed track, it will hit a top speed of 137 miles per hour. Volkswagen offer a very similar setup in the Golf GTE, but power boosted to 242 brake horsepower. And yet, in reality, the Leon feels just as fast and as fun to drive. In fact, despite the Leon looking pretty normal, it almost has hot hatch performance. The e-hybrid is part of the normal Leon range, but you can only get this engine with the higher trim levels. This means it comes with plenty of standard kit, including 17-inch alloys, LED lights, 3-zone climate control, a fully digital cockpit display, and a 10-inch infotainment system with satellite navigation. FR Sport trim adds 18-inch wheels, heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, while Excellence adds extra USB-C ports and a rear-view camera. The top-spec Excellence Luxe has a leather seat trim, a powered tailgate and the safety and driving pack, which adds adaptive cruise control and other safety systems. Everything you'd expect from a modern family hatch is present here. You've got a digital screen behind the steering wheel and a big touchscreen on the dash. This is par for the course these days. Since screens are in everything now, it's harder for manufacturers to set their interiors apart. It just means it's lacking some of that Spanish flair we've seen in older Seat models. Quality is good though, with some soft materials on the dash and on the door. It's a shame about this little stubby gear lever feeling so cheap, because the rest of the cabin is more than up to scratch. However, the fact that there's no buttons for the aircon controls means it's a bit of a fiddle to use when you're driving, as you have to look away from the road to use them. More frustratingly still is that they're not backlit, which is really annoying when it's dark. Still, the screen is really responsive, easy to use, and it has all the features that you'd want. There's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which work well on the screen too. The bulky battery in this version of the Leon means it's not as practical as a normal petrol or diesel version. There's 270 litres of boot space, which is pretty small for a hatchback of this size, and 110 litres smaller than a normal petrol or diesel Leon. Still, you face the same situation in the Golf GTE. There's also no dedicated storage space for the charging cables either, so you'll have to put them in the boot, taking up even more space. But if you do want more boot space, there's an ST Estate version of the Leon Hybrid available that has 470 litres, plus a taller roofline which helps with larger loads. The batteries don't seem to have affected space in the back here. As you can see, an adult can sit comfortably as there's decent leg and headroom. It's not too dark, so it doesn't feel cramped in here either. It's nice to see there are big vents for the air conditioning and extra controls and USB ports, so even the kids can charge their phones and tablets in the back. The Leon e-Hybrid is a great first step into electrification. The 40-mile range is competitive, and it should be easy for most to do their daily commute on electric power alone. It's fun to drive, has lots of standard kit, and it looks smart. Plus, it's one of the cheapest plug-in hybrids around, so it's a great all-rounder. There are a few downsides, mainly the stiff suspension and the small boot, but the Leon is still one of our favourite plug-in hybrids. Head to drivingelectric.com for all the latest electric car advice, news and reviews. And check us out on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the Driving Electric YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos go live.